Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless path of true love reading. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998. 24 years in service as of May 1st. Pretty happy about that at the time of this recording. I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. There is a link in the description box, and I am a creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. I got humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses over there, different levels of subscription, and all of my subscribers have access to the extended readings, past, present, and future. So guess what? There's an extended reading on Vimeo.com, pay-per-view, or if you want, you can get them all. But just by subscribing to me on Patreon. Why? Why do I do it? Because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you could call me Mal. Hey, my Taurians. Yay, Earth signs. Virgo, that I am. Very happy to serve my fellow Earth signs. But let's get down to biz, shall we? If you are new to the channel, a path of true love reading, a timeless true love reading, is about you. We're going to be using a Celtic Cross spread, 15 cards for part 1, 15 cards for the extended part 2. But it is all about your hero's journey, your healing journey through your relationships, helping you become the true love that you are at your core, were it not for all of the stuff covering it up, conditioning, ancestral patterning, karma, blah, blah, blah. Right? There is a whole section of videos I have in the description box, all YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Well, there might be some Vimeo stuff on there too that you could check out. Talking about the path of true love. A preface for these readings, explaining a bit how I read the Celtic Cross, etc. And our first 2 cards down are going to be person number 1 and person number 2. You get to suss out which one you are in a general reading, usually your first person down the cover. And whoever is crossing your path is the person crossing your path on the true love, a hero's journey of it all, right? Helping you in some way, shape, or form becoming the true love that you are, anchoring true love into the planet, which is truth and love at the same time. It's tricky to get both, ain't it? Lifetime after lifetime, and though this may very well be a romantic read, there's no guarantee that it is. So I've been really training myself to say, well, let's look. Sometimes in the extended, it comes out. The Aries reading I did, there was 2 of Cups all over the place. I was like, okay, that's how we knew. But it doesn't matter if this is a romantic contract read or not, because whoever is crossing your path, whether it's a family member, a friend, someone on TV that you can't stand or that you love, right? That's reflecting, teaching, giving you the opportunity to chip away the excess marble to reveal the divine statue underneath it, all the perfection of who you are, and as a result helping everyone else on planet Earth. It's just how it works. Unity, consciousness, and all that jazz. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because we all got more than one thing going on, and maybe one of them is going to be the romantic sexual one if that's what you're looking for. Most people on YouTube are. Changed up the Celtic Cross a little bit from the way I've done it in the past, but we'll talk about that as we go. I think that's about it, except to say that both feet on the floor, if you can, stay grounded, right? If you can get your feet on the floor, that's great. But focus on your breath, if you will. And I'll get you the clarity, guidance, and grace. This is what they sent me here to do. I do these readings all the time for clients around the world on Zoom and Facebook video call. Oh, and there's a link in the description box. I do a video booking a reading with Mel if you want to book me. Explains everything for you, just like Clarissa. All right, I guess it's Celtic Cross time. Ready? Here we go. Please take a nice deep breath. From explanation to divination, here we go. Still point. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine. For the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, please, using the Caroline Mace Archetype deck, can I please get the dominant 8th chakra archetype for the Taurus and whoever is crossing their path, or if they're crossing someone else's path, the soul power. Being alchemized from lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy for the cover, and for who crosses them on the path. There it is, I feel you. In this timeless, a true love, a read. Done with those. Let's see, it's in the title. An engineer and a destroyer. Great. So one's building it up, the other one's breaking it down. But it's a bit more than that. The engineer is a creative family archetype. The destroyer is, I believe, a wild card family archetype. There are 9 different categories, families of archetypes, according to Mace, Caroline Mace, and of course Carl Jung before that, etc. Forever Young. So the shadow attribute that's written on both of these is the stuff that's being healed within each individual, and maybe you're helping each other heal. Regardless, this is what the path of true love is about. So if we immediately say this could be anybody in your life crossing your path, you get to feel out which of these you really resonate with as we go along. Then you get to do the healing that you need to do, and if it heals them, who knows? But it's going to help heal everybody. Let's talk about the engineer. Creative family archetype, the shadow attribute. This is stuff you don't want to look at. Or if you know about it, you don't want anybody to know about it. You want to keep it in the shadow. Reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So, you think engineering, you think of like engines, obviously, right? Machinery. But a mechanistic solution without regard for emotional consequences is a little mercenary on the path of true love. But I've had to go there. I've absolutely had to cut people out of my life and just say, it doesn't matter. You did that to me, you're gone. Right? Very mechanistic. Don't care how you feel. You did what you did. You lie to me. You betray. You get the idea. But we're growing and evolving through that. It's not that you're not allowed to be there. It's that's a stage on the journey. Shooting for an ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas, which I think is really important on the path of true love, particularly as we're realizing that all of our relational issues, we all kind of have them in common in one way or another. The form may be different, but the content is the same, so to speak, symbolically, archetypally speaking. Crossing your path, if this is you, is the destroyer archetype, the shadow, intoxication with destructive power. You're gonna come for me, but it's sharpening your claws, right? Destroying others' dreams or potentials. It's like a spoiler, right? Spoiler! The light attribute, they're shooting for releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life, right? So look, the stomach acids, a really important destructive chemical in your stomach to break down the food, right? So when we think of destruction, it's very easy to just think in terms of the shadow, and in the light, it's really easy to just think about it in the light, where it's a spectrum of shadow to light, lead to gold, percentage-wise. Where are you? That's what the path of true love is about healing these soul powers within you that you came in, you contracted to work on, and nothing does it like a one-on-one relationship. That's the skeletal system of this reading. Let's Celtic cross it. Usually I do Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the heart, third eye crown, the next 4 chakras down. We're saving that for the extended, and usually in the extended, I do the Mythic Tarot, the lower 3 chakras. The guides are like, that's what they want to know. At least on YouTube. If they want the deeper, they can go behind the scenes into the extendeds or on Patreon or whatever. So lower 3 chakra dynamic is about relationships in the physical world. Root chakra groups, tribes, circles of friends, your genetic tribe, your political affiliation, right? You Mets fan or a Yankee fan. I'm in New York. It's a family thing, but it's tribes within tribes within tribes. The human tribe, the starseed you may be aligning with, etc. Second chakra is a one-on-one relationship, like an umbilical cord, if you like, from navel to navel. That's what we definitely have here. It's also about money, sex, and power, and all that second chakra stuff. But solar plexus is your relationship to yourself in the world. Self-esteem, which is a verb, not a noun. Think about that. It's a big one. your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't, your boundaries, and your intuition, which is directly connected to your ability to estimate yourself. So let's get 10 of these. We'll call them out one at a time as we go. Please take a nice deep breath. I love doing these because it's all about love. Still point. All right. So I call upon my gods of Earth, the sign of Taurus, powers of the North, 10 card Celtic Cross. Path of True Love reading. We'll flip them over one at a time as we go. Let's start with the engineer in the cover position. What is the engineer covered with? Lower 3 chakra dynamic. Ooh, 8 of Swords. Good old 8 of Swords, blindfolded and bound. When you're stuck between the Furies and Apollo, what are you going to do? Damned if you do, damned if you don't, at least mentally. So we're certainly looking at an engineer here who might be at a little bit of a mental standstill. Not so much the overthinking of the 9 of Swords, but that 8 really feeling not just conflict, which would definitely be more like 5 of Swords, where this really is this trapped feeling mentally, which can create a bit of stasis, a bit of freeze for a time. Mentally. Crossing their path, the destroyer. Maybe they can help them with that. What's going on with them there, lower 3 chakras? The World. Our first major arcana card. Honestly, only 2 cards down. That's not shocking. But the card of the World in the mythic Tarot is Hermaphrodite. It is the child of Hermes and Aphrodite. So we get the word hermaphrodite from. So we are looking at a complete unity. This person in their life has wrapped something up. They are definitely, when it's a major arcana, lower 3 chakras, it's all 3 at once, where the 8 of Swords could be hitting this engineer more solar plexus, right? More personal, kind of stuck in this this mental trap, so to speak, and maybe that serves a purpose so that what? They can refine their talent for designing resolution to a common dilemma. And 8 of Swords is usually a common dilemma. It's certainly a human experience, right? So somebody here is completing a cycle in their journey on the path of true love. Not saying that something's over between the two of these, but certainly saying that they are in a place where they are wrapping things up, right? Like graduation day or New Year's Eve or, full moon or whatever context you want to put that in. All right, lower 3 chakras for what's at the core here, the subconscious influence shared by both of them on the path of true love. Okay, nice. 3 of Pentacles. You may not be aware of this, but you guys actually, you two have a stable foundation. 3 of Pentacles, right? A collaboration in a sense. 3s are for like tripods, very, very stable. A four-legged table will wobble, a 3-legged won't, right? It's a perfect distribution of weight. You can build upon it here. And of course, there is a bit of, let's call it what it is, estimating, right? It's like, do you like this? Do you want this all around? Is this good? Is this a good start? So my sense is that these are 2 people who most likely know each other, but it's a 3 of Pentacles on the outer that you may not be aware of, that there is something really stable here that can be built upon, but choices need to be made. Let's keep going. What's behind them on the path of true love here? This engineer and this destroyer that got them to where they are now. In this timeless read, please just 1 card. Leave it in my hand for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sons, and Cross Watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, and 8 of Pentacles. So there's been work going on here. Now, whether this is the work of the engineer, the work of the destroyer, or the work that they've both put in to this relationship, then certainly going from the 8 of Pentacles in the past, what is before you on the path, what happened before, to now be in this place of the 8 of Swords for the engineer. It might be that this destroyer with the World card really completed something here for themselves. And its physical world And there's this nice solid foundation here, but engineer, are you a little reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences? That is something that you could do when your mind between a rock and a hard place, so to speak, right? To ignore what's going on in the heart here, be very mechanistic, surgical, right, in order to extricate yourself from that. But work was put in here. Again, this doesn't scream romantic, but it doesn't not scream it either. We're not really there yet in the read. Let's keep going. My gods, what crowns this? Hovering it over like a satellite, right? Ready to beam down, to be integrated, to be brought through the chakra system all the way down into physical form, should they so choose, for the Taurus, lower 3 chakra. Okay, Page of Swords. We know the Page of Swords. Page of Swords can absolutely be a little bit of internet snoopery going on. Some stuff, but certainly Page of Swords is about messages, right? There might be some texting going on here, or will be if that is chosen. It does show a need for communication. I don't associate pages with specific zodiacal signs. It's just not my training and my background. I say it a lot on YouTube, but it's just not how I roll. The Page of Swords is the element of air. It's the message, not necessarily the messenger. So this could be a clairvoyant thing. This could be internet stuff. But certainly, if it's something that is chosen, there's going to be some communication. I don't know how I feel about that being cyber stalking or whatever you want to call it, right? Watching somebody's feed. I mean, if that is the case, I could see the engineer doing that. I mean, in the terms of reliance on a mechanistic solution, we'll just scope and probe and gather all the information. But meanwhile, really being at a standstill, bit of mental paralysis in that 8 of Swords. But this Destroyer with that World card, I gotta say, that's the energy that's coming off really like golden here. Whatever they've learned spiritually, whatever they've brought together, I like it. It feels good, right? Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Now, I'm not getting a destructive thing here. 8 of Pentacles in the past, I'm seeing something creative here underway. And with 3 of Pentacles, what has been created is a solid foundation that can either be ruined, right, destroyed, or built. But that Page of Swords at the top, there needs to be some more communication and truth brought in here. Can't be true love without truth. All right, my gods, what is before them on the path just around the river bend? 10 of Cups. That's my true love card in the tarot. The union of Eros and Psyche, romantic love and the soul. Right? Eros, erotic love, God, son of Aphrodite. Psyche, the goddess of butterfly. It means butterfly. It means soul, and she was elevated to a goddess, to be a goddess, in order to marry him because he loved her so much. What happens when you prick yourself in one of your own magic arrows? Womp womp. But this is definitely, like, true love is certainly a thing. Like, my mom and I have a true love contract. True love conquers all, but that means we've been through it together, right? Watch some of the videos on true love in the description box. It goes into that a lot more. And a book is in process, but probably not this year. Probably published next year when I move. 10 of Cups here is about cups, your emotions overflowing, the open heart, but not just open, overflowing. Your cup of love, your 10 cups of love overflow. I like it. Certainly moving in that romantic direction, but not screaming it yet. Just, it's still a, let's say it's a 50-50 chance. Well, let's look at the lesson. The 7th position, my gods. What do you got for them? What is the lower 3 chakra lesson you would have them learn on the path of true love? Ace of Cups. I don't know, guys. About taking the seed of love. Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, appearing here without her nightie. And of course, as I said, the mother of Eros here. We're getting some water in here, which is nice after seeing let's see, 2 earth cards, 2 air cards, 1 major arcana. That's fine. With that 2 water, it seems pretty balanced. The only thing we're missing is fire so far. Your lesson here has to do about offering or receiving, depending on who is who in this, and who does what. An offer of love. That can also be about offering that cup to yourself and saying, you know what, I'm going to drink of my own cup right now. But I will say, with the lesson here, if you're headed towards this 10, see what I'm saying? Now let's see if the 9 of Cups shows up. That'll be in the extended, unless it shows up in these next 3 cards, because that would make sense if the 9 of Cups was here. Somebody offers the ace, and then you have the 10. But let's see. From the outside looking in, if we were to see these people interacting, crossing each other on the path of true love, what would that vibe be like outside looking in? I don't know, guys. 10 of Pentacles. This could be a family thing. You know, family in terms of tribe, definitely root chakra, but we all want the 10 of Pentacles in some way, shape, or form. And certainly in a relationship from the outside looking in, we're looking at stable, and of course, we have got the 10 of Cups here. That is that your first numeric double whammy? No, you got 2 8s and 2 10s. Pentacles, Swords, Pentacles, Cups, 2 8s, 2 10s. Definitely, this shows great promise, regardless of the form of relationship. We got a bunch more cards to hit the table, though, before I definitely give it the mark Angelo Lyons. This is definitely a romantic sexual thing. Stamp of clairvoyant approval. Please take a nice deep breath. My gods, position number 9, I think the most important one in a Path of True Love read. What is the destiny that can be brought from fate, right? If they take the hero's journey, alchemizing the lead to gold, right? Doing the best that they can to cross every T and dot every I without being compulsive about it. In this Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, 9th position, the destiny is the Death card. So there is a transformation. Death is not the end. It's card number 13, usually in the Major Arcana, out of 21, 22 cards, depending how the author slash writer designed their tarot. So there is a transformation. Usually the Death card is more about rising from the ashes in the destiny position. That's the point of it. There is no death without rebirth. There is no crucifixion without resurrection. There is no darkness without dawn, etc., etc., etc. It is a process of spiritual alchemy. Certainly can involve shadow work. Certainly, we've got shadows on both sides here. But certainly, transformation can't be undone. That's why you often see with the element of fire, right? You can't unburn a cookie. Well, can you embrace that there is a death going on here? Now, very rarely do I get that as a literal death. Someone dies, but that doesn't mean that's off the table in a general read. In private readings, that has happened a lot, but on YouTube, it doesn't usually come up that way, considering how many people could be watching it in any given time, particularly a timeless read. But definitely things have changed on the outside here, and I would think that's about going with it to no longer delay what cannot be prevented. It seems like but remember, a transformation can be from like friend to lover, and it's really hard to go back on that. The spell to turn a lover back into a brother. I'm gay, if you didn't know. Check the batteries in your gaydar. It should have been pinging this entire time. Ping. It probably goes ping. Ping, ping, ping. Then, this could be the transformation of this relationship, achieving, manifesting destiny rather than suffering fate. All right. My gods of Earth, sign of Taurus, powers of the North. Last card down for the Celtic Cross. What is the most probable outcome? Lower 3 chakras for this Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Path of true love, the engineer crossing the path of the destroyer, or vice versa, in this timeless read. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, Pisces, mutable water, carrying what? The Ace of Cups. This is where it might get romantic. But I've really learned to include what I'm about to say about the speed of the nights. Oh, we got the Virgo at the bottom of the deck, opposite signs. All right. Okay. So look, you've got the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo. Knight of Cups, Pisces. Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. Knight of Swords, Gemini. It's the 4 speeds of horseback riding. I used to take lessons when I was a little kid. I don't do it anymore. It's not my gig, but I love horses. I just don't want to saddle and ride them. I want to give them kisses. So Virgo is walk, Pisces is trot, Sagittarius is canter, and of course Gemini's gallop. Why wouldn't they be? So this is often the romantic night, the emotional night, the one that's like, well, we're not going to walk, but we're not going to gallop. Well, let's just trot along, right? Maybe you're hot to trot in this. This is getting more and more feeling like a romantic dealio here. But then again, this could also be a friend or a family member really offering a cup of love because they've learned something. The Destroyer, I'm going to say, has really completed and learned something here where the Engineer might be spinning their wheels if they don't have all the information, which is probably the case particularly with this Page of Swords. Or sometimes we get the information and it just appears true, it's just not the truth. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Really? It just looks that way. The sun don't move. The moon does, but we turn on an axis, so that is an optical illusion. Objects in the mirror may be larger than they appear. Thank you, Meatloaf. Oh, that's a deep dive into the 90s, right? The 80s, the 90s. For a Celtic Cross, I'm going to say that there is more to be revealed, obviously, because when it is a court card, lower 3 chakras, that's usually an actual person. But is this the Engineer or the Destroyer? Can't tell in a general read. All right. 3 more cards down. Told you 15 in this one, 15 in the extended. The extended has, like, so many oracles. I read it from the book. We do the prayer, the magic, the blessing, and all of that, right? Let's see, what do we got over there? The Divine Animals Oracle, Healing with the Angels Oracle, the Journey of Love, Alana Fairchild, Lucy Cavendish's Blessed Be, the Chakra reading cards by Rachel, I forget her last name, and we'll get there, but from Rockpool Publishing. Yeah, there's quite a bit's going to hit the table. Oh, plus 10 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to see what's going on the inside world behind the scenes here. But for right now, 2 cards from the Whispers of Love Oracle, the higher selves of all involved, but 1 for the higher self collective for the Engineer, 1 for the higher self collective for the Destroyer. Excuse me. I got some Haagen-Dazs today. I went to the store. I was like, yeah, it's 4th of July weekend. It's the Friday, the time of this recording. It's like chocolate, caramel, brownie, something or other. I haven't had Haagen-Dazs in a long time, but it's worth it. Little dairy. Please take a nice deep breath. If I sound a little Ian Flemmy, that's why. Let's keep it light. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Yeah, the higher selves always feel good. That's the spirit. I love that. Please, higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. We need 2 Whispers of Love in this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, Path of True Love reading. 1 for the Engineer, face down. That was fast. 1 for the Destroyer. I think this is going to work out really easily if this gets applied, but, you know, simple and easy are not always the same thing. Our Engineer, love is all around you. It's the Mary Tyler Moore card. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this is truth. And certainly that's going to help you open up the heart, to focus the mind. Maybe you are being put like a pause button. The Divine's like, all right, there are some thoughts going on here that's taking you out of your heart and only into your head. Now, it's true love. You want both. You want an open heart and a clear mind, but that's a journey in and of itself, bringing that about. So to focus on that, right? Love is all around. There's love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this is truth. Okay, It's truth. I don't see it. It doesn't appear true. That's being truthful. I don't see how everything that's going on planet Earth right now, that love is all around. I'm seeing a lot of pain. I'm seeing a lot of hurt. I'm seeing a lot of fear, a lot of division, a lot of illusion of separation. But to acknowledge that that is part of our process. Can you imagine if everybody all of a sudden had clairvoyance? If everybody could suddenly read minds all at once on planet Earth? It would be the end of human civilization, right? No more need for lie detectors because you would just know. Well, we might get there someday, but the divine ain't gonna let us embody stuff like that until we have it balanced with the heart. For the destroyer, demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. I'm going to say that's the Knight of Cups offering the Ace of Cups. But the lesson is, how do you offer that Ace of Cups? Again, is this romantic sexual? It certainly could be, but there's no absolute guarantee of that, because the romance card, the spiritual connection card, the true love card are in the whispers of love. But that don't mean that it's not just because it's not there, or it hasn't hit the table. But your last card down, we ain't done. One more. The MacCon Healing Mantra Deck. It's in every single reading I do. We did a tarot party at Native Cuticles around the corner from me in Holbrook yesterday. Last night, had a really, really good time. And, when I'm doing it in a party, I don't read the book. But that's why, now those people are following me on YouTube. So, get the deck, though. One of the smartest moves I made just as a healer. Technically not divination, a healing system. But, same with Carolyn Macy's Archetype deck. So, regardless of whether you're the engineer or the destroyer, this should be helpful to either one of you. As you work it, you're helping yourself heal, do the hero's journey on the path to true love, and maybe you're helping each other out as you go. Please take a nice deep breath. My eye goes right to that Three of Pentacles. At the core of this, I really do feel like there is a relationship in play here already. This isn't people who just met, but you may not realize how actually strong of a foundation is actually here. Particularly with that Ten of Pentacles, at least that's what people are picking up. Like, they're already seeing happy family here, so to speak. Here we go. Still point. Last card down as I call to the Ascended Masters of True Love. The path to true love, Ascended Masters. POTLAMs. Please, one card in clarity for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this reading. What is a perfect healing mantra, regardless of which one is watching this, to help them heal, regardless of what the other one does? Unconditional love means, all right, you do you, I'm going to love me, we're going to help each other out, but I got to be truthful, and because love is all around, and demonstrating love is certainly a risk, but if they could find out what is important to the people that they love and act on it, that's going to make a difference here. Maybe clear some mental deadlock, a roadblock, standoff going on here with that Eight of Swords for the engineer. So leave it in my hand, make it clear, make it obvious to the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross Watchers watching this video, receiving this reading in this Timeless Path of True Love read. Opening my mind, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. Guys, there it is. You don't need the extended, but I want to see what hits the table. It's on the schedule today anyway. Opening my mind. It is very much what that Page of Swords is, which actually upgrades this from maybe not so much scoping and probing on the internet, but actually getting messages from the divine, mental messages, mental clarity. That could really play itself out that way, but I want you to underline the word allow. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. That doesn't necessarily mean you start implementing them instantly. It is a process. And sometimes you get hit by lightning, but the Tower card's not here. You may very well be in a death process in this this path of true love journey, but that's how your destiny is achieved, is by going through the transformation. Opening my mind, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. Remember the key word there being allow. No one else can do that but you for you. When your mind opens, you're no longer limited by fearful beliefs or at odds with your own healing journey. Oh, gee, like the Eight of Swords, maybe? With an open mind, you are aware of a bigger cosmic picture, where your personal life ushers in your highest potential by uplifting the consciousness of humanity. That's exactly what a Path to True Love reading is. It's the paradox that it's something so personal, your relationship to another person, your history, your past lives with them. But as a result of you healing that as an eternal spirit and a immortal soul on a hero's journey in a human body, right? Let's talk about Russian doll. That's what we are. Talk about multidimensional. That's getting this. It's like, okay, let me open my mind to see this from a higher place. Do you feel like the Destroyer with that world card on the outer, though, might very well have a bead on that already? If that, maybe that's who I'm reading for here. As your mind opens, life is not just centered around your personal gains and losses, but shining your light for the well-being of all, wherever you happen to be, even on the journey. And look, you got the Ten of Cups, you got the Ten of Pentacles. Definitely a completion of a cycle of water and a completion of a cycle of earth, but very favorable, feels very good. But I think because, you know, particularly that Ten of Cups is before you on the path, your destiny right now comes from doing the alchemy, the shadow work, the death work, the transformational, whatever that genre of that work is for you, which is now near infinite. We have so many ways of doing that. This mantra is ideal for ending the inner negotiation with the ego. Oh, let's talk about that. The ego is always going to negotiate what it wants versus what life wants. And the truth is life always wins, right? We can negotiate, well, what if instead of going through a transformation, I just run like hell? That's not gonna work. Appointment in Samara with the death card, big time. So negotiating with the ego is a thing. Unraveling self-sabotage, particularly with that Eight of Swords. I'm going to say the engineer, to do this in a way that's more heart-centered than ignoring emotional concerns here. And confronting the inevitability of loss. And there you have it with that death card. Look, sure, the old form has to be lost in order for the new form to be gained. It's transformation, the action of changing form, right? Transformation. But, you know, the cookie dough probably doesn't enjoy the baking process, but it's really happy to be a cookie afterwards. Not that I don't love cookie dough. Are you kidding? Of course I love cookie dough. But there ain't nothing like a Pepperidge Farm Nantucket, if you know what I'm talking about. And though that would be fun to eat raw, it's a tricky gnosis. I think I'd rather have the cookie, which lasts about 10 minutes in my home, which is why I don't buy them that often. You know, today I got ice cream. Right? So the inevitability of loss, there is no loss without gain. There is no gain without loss. Loss and gain! So look, in terms of an outcome with that Knight of Cups there, someone's got to demonstrate love here. And I do feel like it is the Destroyer, but it might, you know, it sounds horrible, right? Conan the Destroyer, unless you're dating Conan, you know, Crom. Then certainly releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for a new life, it might be that they're done with that and they're ready for this new life. And they might be the ones coming in with this Knight of Cups, this cup card, right? That Pisces, kind of the romantic knight. But the lesson itself is about receiving, I would think, that Ace of Cups and or offering it, depending on who this reading is for. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put it all together in a little thing called a blessimation, which is what one of my patrons on Patreon calls it. I'm like, that works. We do them for real, no matter how jokey and light I try and keep it to deliver the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power I was sent here to give. Then we'll chat a little bit at the end as I release the Taurus Collective, hopefully with some goofy and some grace. I'll write that down. Nothing like a little crystal tool. To assist the Torch of Archangel Ariel. Got my blessing cords on, got my Taurus jewelry on. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Use me. bless them. Here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Taurus collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video and receiving this reading, and cross watchers, of course, may they be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love. That if they are the engineer, they embrace their ability to give creative energy a practical expression and embrace their talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. And it's a dilemma, but it's common what's going on here. This is not hell on earth. It may feel it from time to time, but it's what they're going through. It is not that. It is probably overall a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation with what we're seeing here with opening the mind, and that the destroyer is able to release what is potentially destructive and prepare for a new life, with or without the engineer, but kind of looking like with. It's at the core of this, though they may not be aware of it. They have something solid here. Yes, could walk away from it, could totally ignore it if they want. Doesn't look like that was going to happen, but to acknowledge, you know what, even if it is a solid friendship. Marianne Williamson, as she says in her book, A Return to Love, which I read back in the 90s in hardcover, my good gods. Love is a rose, the stem is the friendship, the blossom the romance. Remove the blossom from the stem, you have a thing of beauty that quickly withers and dies. Nurture the stem, the bud will blossom, bloom, and fall again and again and again and again and again, right? So if this is romantic, certainly there's a solid foundation here. Because in their past, there was work put in here. This is about wisdom being gained in the physical world, not all the way home, but we do go from the 8 to the 10, but we'll get there. And what hovers over this like a satellite is these messages hanging in the air. Words unsaid, words unspoken. And with a destroyer and an engineer, I don't know how actively they would pursue that. Of course, the engineer could do a little hacky, been verified, this or that, scoping and probing if they're computer illiterate in such ways, but certainly the destroyer might just want to like clear the air, and that's an option that both of them have to choose in order to go down. But what comes after that is the 10 of Cups. Their cups overflow. Oh my God, I love you. I'm so sorry. I didn't understand. I knew it wasn't about you. I got triggered. Whatever that conversation is here with that Page of Swords, it leads to the 10 of Cups. So to be honest, to be truthful, love is all around. Demonstrate love, even listening to somebody as they untie things right in front of you in their own minds. And certainly the lesson here is about that 8 of Cups, that offer of love, that seed of love that could be poured down the drain or really evolved into something. That's the lesson. Maybe a new emotional beginning here with that 10 of Pentacles. If you were to walk into these two on the path, you'd be like, whoa, that's a family unit in some way, shape, or form, even if it's only a family unit of 2. But with that Death card, their destiny comes from doing the transformation, rising from the ashes, or going to. Only they're going to know about that. But it might be the total transformation of this relationship that allows someone to come trotting in on their Piscean pony, ride a Pisces pony, let that spinning wheel ride. Wheel of Fortune's not on the table, but it could show up in the extended. Offering that cup, and someone's got to learn how to either offer or receive that cup. So may they be blessed that the engineer really starts to just simply acknowledge that love is all around them, opening their mind. And that the destroyer can open their mind to demonstrate love by finding out what is important to the people that they love so that they can act on it, so that they can both move forward one way or another on the path of true love, becoming the true love that they are, anchoring the true love at least within themselves, moment by moment, breath by breath, to the best of their ability, really helping to feed the planet more truth and love. That is known as true love, the total unity of the divine masculine open mind and the divine feminine unconditional loving heart as one into physical form for the well-being of all, with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So motivated. So it is. And yes, this could be about a parent and child that have been arguing. It could play itself out so many ways. So if you like, comment. How is this playing out for you if this is your read? And if you liked it, if it made sense, and absolutely hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Help the other bulls find it, my second housers, please. And if you want more of me here on YouTube, just subscribe. I'm not stopping. I've been doing this for a while, and I didn't always do readings on the channel. Go all the way back on my channel. You get to see me much heavier with shorter hair and glasses. It's a thrill. Every day is a winding road. We get a little bit closer. But if you want the deeper stuff, if you want my daily check-ins, pretty much daily check-ins, talking about the day's lunar astrology, all of the timeless extended reads that I've ever done and will ever do as long as I am on Patreon, patreon.com/drawingthecircle, then come play on Patreon. Humans, heroes, angels, witches, immortals, gods, goddesses, and I'm adding mystic, I think, in August. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, seriously, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed. You know how to book a reading with me where you want. Doesn't matter where you are on planet Earth, as long as we got Wi-Fi, we got a gig. Just reach out. I'm glad to help do these readings with people all the time, actually. So hang in there, walk the path, be the best that you can be, shine your light and your love at full capacity, and let's anchor paradise planet Earth. And if you get your stuff touched along the way in a way that you want, hell. Hell. Farewell, my beloveds, and blessed, blessed be.